Growing up, my dad used to always say history is very important, in that how can you possibly know where you're going if you don't know where you've been? And I think that holds true with evolving and building a brand as well. We're at a point in our company that we can take a step back and take a look at where we've been, where we currently are, and where we want to go. And some of the questions we can ask ourselves are, what is our mission? What's our core values? What is our goal? And does all of that align with each other? I've always liked to tinker. I always liked to make things, and my passion for leather work began at 12 years old when I made a belt that, funny enough, I still have to this day. And that passion was rekindled later in life as a way to relieve stress. Being a police officer, being on the SWAT team, having young children, all day long you're having to make decisions, you're making decisions for others. And it felt really good to just be able to go into my shop, shut the door, turn on the music, and cut out leathers. After making a few things for myself, ultimately making a few things for some friends, we took some stuff to a local market, and very surprised quickly at how fast it sold. And then slowly from there, the side hustle turned into a part-time job and almost to a full-time job. It just got to a point where a decision had to be made as far as where I was in my career as a police officer and where we were with our business. I had made the decision that I was going to leave the department. My wife basically was like, your business is doing well, why don't you try that for a year? If it works, great. And we haven't turned back since. The name Rustic Heirloom came about because at that time, a lot of my goods were being made in a rustic form, but also very durable and the mind of being kept for life, kind of an heirloom quality good. It fit what we were doing. We were very niche and small at that time, and it worked well. The initial thoughts of changing the name actually came about back in like 2022. And it's when we changed our logo the first time, where we changed it to the tree logo with the chevrons and the asterisk underneath. We were trying to incorporate more of who we were at that time. We knew we loved outdoors, we loved being in the mountains, and then also tying it back into, it was an abstract art based off of the insignia that I wore as my police rank. We thought then Rustic Heirloom really didn't fit that logo. And truly, Rustic Heirloom didn't fit who we were. The median of our customer base is that 35 to 45-year-old male. And so polling that age group, we have found that heirloom is hard to pronounce for many. We've also found that several folks don't really know what heirloom means. Some, do incorporate it with something that's traditional, passed down generation to generation. Some just equate it to being something old. And then there's even that small realm of people that say that it reminds them of tomatoes. And so with those main issues at hand, and then it also not feeling like it's who we were, it quickly became very evident that we needed to do a name change. The word wild has kind of always been tossed around into what I was doing. Wild, wilderness, both equate to outdoors. A lot of the wild in general is incorporated into who we are. I think Wildr will resonate mostly with folks who enjoy the outdoors, whether that's hiking, biking, fishing, camping, overlanding, or just being outdoors at the park with your family. And so with the name change and the redefinement of our logo, we really want to encompass who we are as a brand, and that's more goods made to go where you're going, whether that's travel in a car to Disney World, or if that's on your mountain bike, or if that's on a hike, in the mountains, but just to embody all of those things that we are as a brand going forward. For me, the biggest change is goods that are purposefully made, whereas before we made goods that were focused on the quality of them, and that's not going to change. But now they're going to have a purpose, and that purpose is for travel, that's for outdoors, that's for adventure.